Hey guys, let's find out how to use damage log. Open ModHub or Unified UI, Sandbox Utilities, select Sandbox, and start it. In Sandbox, open Sandbox Utilities. Usually want to spawn something, like a Praetorian, which is spider tank internally. Disable AI. Laser pointer, click. Then Creative tab, Inspector, find him here, like a tank type, here. You want ENE object, hit this plus. Now, in the component search, type health, you want health component, hit this plus. Now, if you shoot Praetorian, it will bug out for some reason. In order to prevent it, you need to unlock his HP, set damage property, damage to 1, or some other value which is not 0, it shouldn't be 0. Type float, do not forget, and set. There you go. If you damage him, you can set it to 1, and it will be healed. It is already registering damage. GK2 has 16 damage per hit, which is correct. What you can do is hit this square, but it's not really convenient right now. You need to, even if you clear the entries. If you have no entries here in the first place and hit it, you can then move it and make it larger, so you will see the bottom line here, the bottom border of this window. Now, you can lock HP back up, so you can shoot infinitely him and it won't die. What we see here is amount of damage, which is affected by hazard resistance, but I have custom difficulty. You can have another difficulty mode. What you want is resistance for the enemies. For Praetorian it is enemy damage resistance. It should be set to 1 if you want to test something with convenience. If you set it to 2, for example, it will be twice as less, twice as little. Now, let's set it to 1. What is also written here is modifier. It can be, for example, some armor that is reducing it. For example, if you spawn a Grunt, let's find Grunt. You need to hit this update button, so it will be shown here. It will appear here. Hit this plus, health, this health component of this Grunt. Unlock, set damage to 1, so it won't bug out. Lock back up, hit this square, so it will be convenient to view damage entries, and shoot him. Damage got reduced by 20%, which is 0.8, and then because of light armor, this bug has. Now, another case is a weak point, for example, Root Nexus, which is spider spawner internally, has some weak points, which is his eyes. Let's find him here. Update button, ENE object, health component, set damage to 1, lock HP, shoot an eye, 32 damage, which is x2 weak point, and modifier is 2 respectively. 2. But if you shoot anything else, it will be only 1, modifier 1. Let's kill it, so I won't die. Now, let's spawn trajectory for convenience. Find him again. Update button, don't forget. Plus, unlock, set, lock, square, move it, enlarge it. Now, what else is written here is what is causing damage. Assault rifle is deep core GP2. Material, it is what you hit, which is Praetorian's head. Weak point, it is because it was used to be a weak point back in days, I think. I still remember that it had 0.7 multiplier many years ago. So like not a weak point, more like hard point, but like whatever. Type is damage kinetic. It can be a little bit different from what you know. For example, damage fire can be damage burn, or damage fire here. Damage burn is fire without hit, and damage fire it is 100% hit with 100% fire. Damage ice it is 50% of cold, of like freezing temperature, plus 100% of frost damage. And damage freezing. Unlike damage ice, it's just 100% frost damage, without any cold. Now, radial flag, it is basically if it is true when the damage is AOE, when the damage is radial, but like not necessarily. For example, if the damage is converted from one type, from that one damage class or damage type to another damage class, for example, for hyperpropellant, let's shoot this Praetorian. This hyperpropellant. As you can see, it's the radio part, but it has no radio flag, because it was converted from explosive to disintegrate. The regular shot, it has this flag, but hyperpropellant converted to disintegrate, it doesn't have this. It gets lost when it gets converted. So, another thing that you might find useful, it is to know how much damage you get as a dwarf. You need to find your dwarf here in the creative menu, in the inspector. Scout is navigator character. Engineer is engineer character, driller is driller character, and gunner is gunner character. Plus, health. I think it's not necessary to do this damage 1 thingy for dwarves, but like, let's do it anyways. It is basically max health minus 1, which is current health. I got damaged only by 12 points, but it actually shows it twice. But it's not actually twice, it's only once here, but it's just shown twice. It doesn't show the shield damage though, only health damage. And it shows health damage twice, but it was dealt once again. So we just know it's not twice. Now, the similar thing happens if you, for example, test Blistering Necrosis for driller. I don't know, maybe you will do it, maybe not. But like, if you spawn a blister, it is called boil internally. You can find it, update it, so it will appear. Then explosive boil, it has health, not much, but it has it. Set to 1, lock, square. Now, let's also find a tank. You can actually track as you can actually have them 2 damage locks at the same time. Set lock. Like this. This is boil health, this is praetorian health. Now, it is actually shown twice here, but the boy only lost 16 HP, I think. 16. Then it was multiplied by 1.5. Maybe it lost 24, I don't remember like how the logic for this. But like it didn't get the second hit, it just shown twice here. However, it transfers the damage twice to Praetorian. Praetorian actually got twice the damage. This Praetorian got 48 damage, while Blister only got 24 or 16 damage here. Modifier 1.5 is because all direct damage it is multiplied by 1.5 or greater if weak point has a greater multiplier. Now, there are hard cases can be for this one. For example, if you have a drug and if you shoot well, there will be a lot of damage parts, and that's because there are a lot of conversion going on. The drug has AoE upgrade, and what's happening is that it was actually the blister only got damage by AoE part, but it shows it twice. There are two parts of the AoE part. One 50% disintegrate, 50% fire. However, which was the part that was converted to disintegrate doesn't have radio flag. It has lost it. That's why it kinda counts as direct damage for the Blistering Necrosis, and it got transferred as damage kinetic to the Praetorian, and it got transferred twice, because it is possible to transfer anything twice. That anything that doesn't have radio flag, it gets transferred twice as damage kinetic. Whatever damage there will be, it is damage kinetic, and it is transferred twice. Then Praetorian got the direct damage part. Here, damage disintegrate, half, and then half damage kinetic. It is direct hit. 50%, 50%. Then 50% as damage disintegrate. It is AoE part without radio flag, because it was converted to damage disintegrate. And finally the original damage fire of the AoE part, which didn't lose its original radio flag. AoE, direct, and transferred by boil. Transferred by boil, it is 50% of AoE part, 50% of radio part that lost its radio flag. That is example of like a complex case, a complex occasion that can be researched using this damage line. I also have some videos locally about Blistering Necrosis. If you want it released, I can basically do it pretty soon if I want. And that's basically all I wanted to show you. Rock and stone, guys.